are you?
It's Sunday.
I know. And I was at my daughter's dance recital yesterday.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. So we were there from rehearsals at 9 a.m. and she danced in a total of 27 dances across 3 dance reviews. So she's exhausted and I'm exhausted.
Oh.
But I've had coffee and I have some Diet Coke ready to go.
Hey, Christy.
I need to know at some point today in this how to post the assessment that I made in the assessment bank.
We'll have to do that later because that is different than this whole deal.
Okay.
Are you available after this?
Sure. I mean, I'm home all day.
Well, I booked the Nearpod for 1, so I have time between 12 and 1.
Okay.
And I can record it so you can send it to Anna.
Okay. Yes, that's what we needed. Her and I needed that.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
Just a quick question about, like, I know I put in a ticket last week about getting the SPED students on my OnCourse class. I'm not really sure how to get that up there so I could follow along with them.
So what grades are you?
7th grade.
Okay, so you just need to send an email. You can send it to me and I'll forward it, but it goes to Michelle Aurelian and you basically just list the kids who get pull out for ELA and the kids who get pull out for math, and she'll create those courses for you.
Alrighty, awesome. Thank you.
Can
I comment to that? That list has already been turned in. Please don't send Michelle anything.
Oh, okay,
reference
thanks,
to that.
Stacey.
Okay. Alrighty, awesome. Thank you, Stacy.
Can I ask now?
Yes.
Okay. Just asking about so Desmos was on the assessment as a like on when you try to create an assessment or assignment, Desmos was there and then it went away. So is there a way to get that back as a tool for
I think it moved. Christina, I think it moved. And to be honest with you, I have to go. Let me do that at the end because I have to go into our actual account because we actually paid. We're upgrading and testing out the beta of Desmos for the system. So I think it's in a different place and I'm not 100% sure where that went, but that change happened last week. So instead of choosing a Desmos question, it's actually going to be integrated for the students. And I've not seen what that looks like. So I'm going to have to play around with it. So if I don't get an answer today, I will definitely have one for you tomorrow.
Christy, I have a quick question. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a quick question too. I had the same question as, I guess, the person 2 questions ago. My little SLC classroom with my 6 kids was literally just created like physically. And then I emailed Michelle to see if I needed to, I'm sure I needed to create
turned in as well.
Okay. I have a clarifying question on that because Michelle sent that to me yesterday while I was at the review. Stacy, SLC is going to be like math and ELA, or is that like Lauren's classes?
It's like Lauren's classes.
Got it. We're on it. She asked me that yesterday and I didn't have the answer.
It's everything. Yeah.
Yep. Got it. So she'll set those up just like Lauren's classes.
And I send both of y'all my list. I know I hate to like double do it.
No,
but
it's fine.
Okay, cool.
She asked me the question and I wasn't able to look up the kids to answer her question. Let me respond to her now because she probably can do it today.
Okay, great.
Hey, Christy, this is Sue. I have a couple questions about getting my Google links onto the OnCourse classroom calendar. First of all, how do you copy and paste to different days? I was having issues with that. And then when I changed the time to a time that was not an automatic like 8 or 8:15, like I tried to do 8:05, I saved it, but it still showed up as 8 on the calendar view.
Yes. And I got another email from Paige with the exact same thing. So I'm going to forward that to OnCourse today because if they're not going to let us do that, then we're going to have to figure out something else. So what shows or put it in the
Then for the link, do they just have to copy and paste it into another window? Because I tried to activate an active link and I wasn't able to do that. Do they just copy and paste it then? Is that how they get on?
For what? I'm sorry.
On the Google Meet link on their Google Calendar, when they click on the event, it will take them to that page, but it's not an active link. They just have to copy and paste it to another window to get onto the Meet.
Did you attach it as a link in the calendar?
I tried. Well, okay, maybe I need to do that then.
I'll show you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So I'm going to address all those. Go ahead.
Christy?
Yes,
Christy,
go right.
I'm sorry. When you are putting in an assignment and it says, you know, with part, you know, like first quarter, you check that, and then they say, what kind of assignment? It only has extra credit. It won't let you put anything else. Where do you put in like a formative assignment?
So my guess is that administration hasn't responded to Michelle's request if it's going to be formative and summative and how to set up the grade books. So let me get on that.
Okay, it lets you put in like first quarter, but you know, these are just things you're going to be working on. So it would be just formative, but the only thing that shows up is extra credit.
Okay. They haven't been built yet because once we build them, we can't go back. So
yeah, I'm just chiming in on that, Christy. I'm able to get formative and summative.
Okay.
When I click it.
No, but this is not for an assessment. This is just an assignment.
Yeah, I'm gonna email
right,
now.
Exactly. That when I pull up assignment, it gives me the choice.
Oh, I see. I can't get that.
Did you click add to gradebook?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check. Randy.
You add it to the grade book in order for you to choose if you want it to be formative or summative.
I'll show you when we get there. Anybody else have anything else? And
okay.
If not, please just stop me because we have a lot of people in here. Just type 3 dots in the chat if you need me to stop. I have chat open. That's why I came to work to do this so I can have 2 screens.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm in the fake account so I can post and so you can see the kids because I don't want to create. I don't have any classes and I don't have kids associated with me, so I might get Michelle to hook me up with one of my children in an advisory or something. But for now, we should be able to see most of it. We won't be able to see the Desmos until I go into the other account. Okay, can y'all all see my screen? Yes? Okay, good. All right, so we're going into the classroom. And you can see my classes with my smaller groups made up. Does anybody need me to review how to make the groups?
I don't see your shared screen, Christy.
You might have to go to my name and click on where you see the presentation and pin it.
Yes, please show me how to make the groups again.
Yep. So I am in math and I'm click on, it's darker when you click on it. Let me make this bigger because I can't even see. Okay, and then you're just going to click new group, and then it makes you select your class again. So just click the class you want, and you're going to call this whatever group you want. I'm going to call this the purple group. And then you just start typing your students' names. And once, it's kind of dumb because once you start typing, it still leaves this typing thing here, which I've already put in as an issue. But you just keep clicking them and adding them. And then you have options at the bottom to show the group name instead of student names. So the group name is what already exists here. I'm going to leave it and say not to show the group name. So then when you click on it down here, the kids will be able to see their names in there. It doesn't really matter because what you see over here. So I don't know where that is that you would see this name or the kids' names because it always shows up purple. So I don't know what the difference there is. But now I can choose between my blue group and my purple group, and then can straight add up resources from here.
So if I wanted to do some differentiation, I could call it whatever I wanted to, and the kids would not see the name of the group. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you're in your class, you have a few actions that you can do. You can message all your students. You can allow messaging or block messaging, and they have this thing called log student contacts. I'm going to show you this real quick because I think this will be helpful for virtual. And I didn't show this a whole lot in the other. If you click, say I haven't heard from Violet Allison in a while. I'm going to check her name, and I'm going to go to log student contact. It's going to open this contact record here. And so I'm going to say, this is the student. This is the time. Why aren't you letting me choose a thing? anyway, it shows just like the contact record, and I'll show you when I log into my account, but basically you have a few options. Let me open my account so I can show you what it looks like for real. This is a whole lot of toggling back and forth. So once you create that contact, anybody who teaches that kid can see it. And it also lets you defer it to a dean or a counselor. So say you were checking in on a kid. I think I made one for Grace yesterday. So they have this thing, this tab at the top called contact log. And you can see this is one that was made. So pretend like the teacher actually made this in here. This is what the box comes up as. So it lets you choose between you attempted to contact the student, you hadn't heard from them, or this was an instructional contact, or this was student work feedback, letting them know that they needed to turn something in again or redo for credit, or it was a wellness check. So normally yours is going to be contact attempted or instruction or any kind of student work feedback. Wellness check, I mean, it could be redoing a wellness check, but for most of it, that will be the counseling department. So say you contacted them and you were contacting them as contact attempted because you hadn't heard from her, and you have options of app messaging. This would be any kind of like Remind. We don't use that. Online conferencing platform. This would be tried to message them through the OnCourse system. If they're not logging in and doing work, they're not going to get that message. So this might be an actual phone call here or a school system email. This means you emailed the student. Generally, I would assume some of these might be a school system email from you guys level, but let's say I tried to call and I contacted the guardian because I hadn't heard from the kid. Then you have these options here. If you don't ask these questions, you can leave this dark box blank, but maybe the kid isn't logging on because he doesn't have internet access. And these are reports that I can pull, and it's going to ask you about available devices. Then in the notes, you could say, blah, 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 blah. This is, I attempted to contact the student at such and such time. The student has not logged in for such and such time. And then you can notify staff on this. This might be your deans or your division heads or any of the member of the counseling staff to let them know that this is something that's going on. And it'll come up as a notification in those people's, and this is a fairly new feature. We turned this on last week also. So that's where it shows up. And then anybody can go. So say all of you guys are having a problem with getting this particular student to log in. You can go and check the contact log before you contact them to see where we are in this contact message, because you're not going to want to have 15 people calling the parent. If somebody called the parent and it's already been sent to the counselor, then you're just going to put in, you know, you just leave it as is, or contact the counselor directly and saying, I'm also having this issue, and see if she wants you to add a contact record. So that allows you to do that here from your class, which I think is similar to what we were doing before with all those spreadsheets and people not showing, but it's going to be much easier in this system. And then I'm not going to do a whole lot on messaging because you guys didn't have any particular questions there. Calendars. Okay. We're having the calendar issue at the time. I'm aware of that. I think Sue asked a question about copying and pasting. So this is where the web link goes. So if I go to my, and I copy, right click, or you can click the little copy button and it's copied to the keyboard. And then you come over here and you click on the web link and paste it in here. It'll be a clickable link on the student. So I'm going to say Google Meet Algebra 1. And then I'm going to leave the times as is because I don't know what the situation is. And we're going to say that this is during math. And the location isn't an option because we don't have a location set up. So if we had location and this was going to be library or whatever, when we eventually would be able to have like meetings for student council or whatever, you could set them up that way. You could also schedule it to go out at whatever date you wanted to. And then any information that you have here, grab your calculator. And then once you click save, then I go into my student side. And when I click on the student, and if I go to the math class, actually, if I go to the calendar, I don't even know what date I put that on. Here, today. Okay, when I click on it and it opens up, see how the link is there, Sue? So then once they click it, it brings them to the Google Meet.
Great. Thanks, Christy. I was trying to do it from my view and it wasn't active from the teacher's view. Okay. Thank you. So how do you copy and paste to all the different days?
Yeah, you see, so that's another thing. You have to click and add and click and add. I've asked for the feature to be able to do it to multiple classes. But I haven't gotten any word back on that. I'm gonna write it down again because I'm gonna email them again.
Christy, this is Maureen. I was able to copy and paste it, but you have to do it 2 ways. You can copy Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you have to hit custom. And then you have to do it again for Tuesday, Thursday and hit custom. And then you can copy it for like weeks at a time so you don't have to keep doing it over and over and over.
Where is the copy feature, Maureen, on the calendar?
I did it from the calendar view. Double click it on the calendar and this thing pops up. And where you put the time and date in, you'll see add another event. And if you click on that, the bottom of the menu says custom. And that's how I was able to do it for each week, different ways.
Robin, high school's using the same one. You just, Robin Bach, you just follow whatever your administration has told you. Okay, let me go to this. I'm in mine now. Okay, so I have this one and I created this. Let's see.
I think she means through Google because that's the Google Calendar does that.
I did it through Google Calendar and then I copied the link and pasted it into OnCourse.
And it pasted it on multiple days?
Well, I had to do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday and paste it in that way. And then I did a Tuesday, Thursday, and I had to paste a second time. So it was a pain.
You still had to create a new calendar invite for everyone though.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can create it multiple days and recurring and all that in Google, but here you're still going to have to create a new calendar invite for everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and make sure it's showing up on the OnCourse thing. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
So Christy, we're going to have
not integrated with Google Calendar, which they're working on. But right now it's not. So
we're going to have to create typically 5 or 6 events for every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure that's how I've been doing it. I just want to make sure there wasn't an easier way. Thank you, Christy.
I apologize currently apologize. Okay. Where's my list? Okay. Anything else about calendars before I move on? Let me go back, check my chat.
Should we have a consistent naming system or something? Because the kids are going to have all these events on each day.
I kind of mentioned that to Cassie, that it needed to be done that way. But when the kids see it, they're only going to see the one. It'll show just like this. So they're only going to see. So their blue is going to be this English. So it should be color coded for them to match. Like if I go back in as the kid. That's not what I wanted to do. So if I go back in as the kid and go to calendar, all the English are blue, all the math. So like this would be my English 1, this would be my algebra 1, this would be my physical science, and this would be my world geography. Now, granted, they have to put the correlation together. So I think there probably should be a naming convention. That's what I suggested. But at least put your course name in it, I'm sure. Or math, if y'all are combining. Let me go. Okay, Kelly, I'm going to go. Okay, Kelly, I'm going to go back to messaging. And when you're in messaging, you have an option. All the kids have an option. You guys might want to walk them through this. at the top of their OnCourse Connect, let me go to a kid. At the top of their OnCourse Connect, there should be, I know there's an option for you. I'm not exactly sure where the kids set up their messaging. Let me see something. It looks like the kid stuff all comes through here. You have the option of when you go into my account, where you go to, that's not, maybe it's not here. Go to notifications. Oh yeah, here it is. When you click on the notifications tab and you click on notification settings and classroom, it'll let you, this is just the notification center and OnCourse, or you can get an email, or you can get a daily digest of all the emails. So these two are email that come to you. I don't know if the kids can do that because I'm in the fake classroom right now, but as soon as my kids are at their dad, as soon as they come to me this afternoon, I'll look and see if they have options on their side. But you don't need to get an email every time a new assignment is published because you're publishing it. But you might want to get an email every time a student reports a message, and then a daily digest when they post a new message so that you can get it at the end of the day and reply to it in the morning. Unless you want to get email every time somebody asks a question, that may be in something that you want to do. And then you don't need to necessarily get an email when a new resource is made. I would assume the notification center settings would be the same. I'm gonna write that down too.
Thanks, Christy.
Yes. Okay. Evelyn, there's no way to fix the Google Classroom link. We did purchase the upgraded Education Enterprise Google Meet. So as soon as they push out all those new fancy features, we'll have that. I don't see them currently. It's probably not going to be till after Labor Day. And I would probably say it's going to go out and roll out like it did before. So it'll roll out sometime by October 1, and we'll get all those features of the waiting room and all that. So I wouldn't, I mean, some of the teachers are creating a new one every time because that's how they're going to circumvent that. We did not have a problem with that in high school last year. We did in middle school, and we have the new 5th graders. So I think my concern would be the 5th grade group, which is why Robin and them, I think, are creating new ones because they're new to us. The other kids are well versed in how things went in 4th quarter, and that we will not be, and I can pull reports and look at it. So basically what I did is every night I would go through and I would look and see anybody who was getting on Google Meets outside of the times and what classrooms they were getting it in. And I notified the teacher, the division head, the dean, as well as the parent and student. I have a form email that I sent out in 4th quarter that they're not allowed to get in Google Meets if a teacher is not present. And we kind of went through that. And then it should be a rather quick shutdown because we're holding them a little more accountable so we can actually write them up or post it in there, unlike in 4th quarter. Christina, I don't know the answer to the question. She asked if Google Calendar for synchronous teaching. High school was told to use the OnCourse calendar because we want them going to OnCourse set for everything. So that's going to be an Alice question if she wants to do that. You can obviously set it up in your Google Calendar if it's rerunning so that you know when it is, but the kids won't see that like they did before where we could assign it to certain Google Classrooms. We're not able to do that. So it'd have to be posted in OnCourse Classroom. But you might be able to make a you know, like a spreadsheet you post as a resource right now with the clickable links as whatever y'all do as a team. But definitely get with your division heads and your team leaders on that. Randy, Robin asked about should she set up a different Google Meet. 5th grade is setting up different Google Meets for every time, so that way they don't have kids getting in. But we didn't have that issue at high school. So I think Cassie said you could do whatever you wanted.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then, yeah, I think, Robin, I think that's going to be the easiest thing. Just multiple, the only thing that can see that's going to be an issue is the person who creates the meet is the only one who can mute the people and bump the people out if there's an issue. So I think that's my only concern. If you, Robin, go in and create the links for 5th grade and Evelyn's in there teaching, she can't mute the people because she didn't create it. So now that does change when we get the new meets, because if you create all of them, Robin, and you assign the coordinator role or whatever they're going to call it, the leader role to Evelyn, you can still create them and Evelyn will be able to do all of the features that need to be done. It's kind of like a host and a co-host kind of deal that Zoom has now. So, like I said, for this first week, I'm going to be checking these reports every night. Tammy, go ahead.
So when we're in Google Meet, Google Calendar, we have to add each student for each link when we create these links for the calendar?
No, it'll automatically go. Once you put in an OnCourse calendar, you don't need to create it for individual students at all. They just join.
So I'm creating my links in my Google Calendar and posting them in OnCourse?
Yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And for the kindergartners, you could probably have the same one you use all the time, because those kindergartners aren't going to get in without you there. They're going to be there with the parents. It might be easier, Anne, if you guys just create one for your classrooms and post it in the resource and just have the parents go to the resource to do it, or make it as an assignment that posts, but then they'll get used to just using the same link and they can bookmark it if y'all use the same code until Google changes over, and then I don't know what that's going to look like. We'll all be in it together. Okay. So if I need to go back to calendars or messages, let me know. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. All right, let me close this. All right, so now I'm in assignments, and I am going to go to a class that doesn't have a million assignments. Oh, they all do. Look at this. This is fun. All right, social studies. We're going to create a new assignment. So this is going to be for you, Randy. So I'm going to create my assignment. So this is my first assignment. I'm just doing it from social studies. So this is going to be world geography, lesson 822, or maybe you just call it, I don't know. The days are going to confuse me because of the green and blue. So I'm going to probably number mine. This is going to be lesson number 8. So lesson number 8 is going to go to this group on one and this group on the other, your blue and your green. Do I even have groups in here? So, oh yeah, they set it up for honors and regents, but this could be green and blue. So we're going to have honors and regents, or you could pick individual students. So this is going to be my green, pretend like honors is green. But some of y'all have honors on the green and some of them, whatever, on the blue. And then I'm just going to keep everything kind of similar here. You have to click this box, Loretta, add to gradebook, and then the marking period should be 1, and then the category should give you. If it doesn't show up, and Sarah, I know there's an issue, those grade books probably are not set up. We'll have to run a report. I did email Michelle. And then we're going to have it automatically go to the grade book. And then I'm going to put my instructions here. And then I'm going to add my web links. I don't know. We'll just use this. And we're going to say this, pretend like this is a Flipgrid. And then add link, and then maybe I'm going to put in another document. Oh, real important thing. Some people were having issues with students having to request permission. And I don't know if I didn't explain this correctly or if they changed something on me or whatever, but whatever you're going to share with them, you also, when you're creating the document or the Google Slides, still have to do it the old way, where anyone with the link can view, or anyone at Discovery with the link can view, regardless of how you log it in. So let's say, let me find something.
Christy, Alice just posted in the Vintage Campus. She told middle school to wait on making any links for the week until we can talk about how it'll best work for the students. But we are going to be using OnCourse just like the high school.
Okay. So let's say this is the document that I wanted, and I want pretend like there's a question prompt at the top, and then they're going to fill in their own. Okay. You're going to want to go to the sharing options. Why? Okay, you're going to want to go to the sharing options up here. And then you're going to want to go down here. See where it says restricted? If your document or Google Slide or Google Sheet says restricted, the kids can't get in even if you click the button allow students to access. So you're still going to need to make sure you have it either set for Discovery Health Sciences Foundation, and it doesn't matter about viewer access. They're going to get their own copy. but it either needs to be Discovery Health Sciences Foundation, which the kids should be doing and kids should be accessing. You don't want the parents to be accessing, but it shouldn't matter. I'll get to your question in a second, Letitia. And then anyone with the link. So I usually just leave it to Discovery Health Sciences Foundation and click done. So I know I want to use this one in my classroom. Oh, stop. Okay. And now I'm going to go find it. I wish it gave you a recent option, but it doesn't. And what is this called? 8, 12, 20. All right. And so this is the one I'm going to choose. I'm going to select it. Now when it gives me this box. So if you didn't set it to students being able to see it in there, then even if you said allow recipients view access, it's not going to work that way. So the document still needs to be set for their users, but you're always going to want to choose allow recipients to view access unless you want to get 150 something emails, which I know you don't. Okay, so you want to allow participants to view, which here's the other, if you don't do that. So the teachers were giving them access on Friday, but the problem is when the students would submit, the teachers would have to ask for access to view the students' work. And you're trying to grade over the weekend and you can't have access to the work because they're not checking in email. Elizabeth, I think they want everything in OnCourse Classroom. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and save and publish this assignment to my kids. All right. So that's my green day people. And then I need to go back and do it for my blue day or my second period, third period, fourth period. All right. So Randy, once you click save and everything is in here and you can see the world geography lesson here, you're going to go up here to tools.
Uh-huh.
And once you click on tools, you're going to click add to assignment bank.
Okay.
And then once you add it to the assignment bank, you can make folders. So maybe you have a folder for Theater 1, maybe you have a folder for Theater 2, maybe you just have one folder for everything or one that you're sharing with other people. Some people may be, like if I'm biology, they may be sharing assignments across the way, or third grade. Maybe somebody's planning all the math and somebody's planning all the ELA. So you're going to want to create a folder and then you're going to have to give permissions if you're sharing it with others. But if you're just doing it for yourself, I would just put it as, let's say, I'm Randy and I'm creating a Theater 1 for all my Theater 1 classes. And then I'm going to click on this folder and I'm going to add to the Theater 1 folder. Okay. So now I'm in my social studies, which we're pretending like it's period 1. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to try and assign this again to another group of students. You can either go this way and pull it from the assignment bank, but I think it's easier. So once you create it in one class, if you click on the assignment bank, you see your folders. Okay. So this shared folder, if I'm teaching biology and with multiple people, you need to right click and give other teachers permission to see the folders that are in there. So I already have Carrie Carmodell. I'm going to add Courtney. And you have to use last names. So I'm going to go ahead and add them in here. And you have options for access. So you have read only. They can have full access, which means they can delete things. Write only, which means they can just add things. Create only. I don't know what the difference between write, no delete, and create only are. So I generally give write access. And we'll see if it's a problem, but I don't think they can. The write no delete allows them to write anything and add anything to the folder, but not delete anything from you. So we'll give write no delete access, but this is only if you're sharing it. So I'm trying to do 2 questions at one time. So Randy, you won't need to do the shared part because you're only the theater teacher.
Right.
So I'm going to go to my theater box and I have my lesson. Okay. And I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to go to actions and it's copy assignments to classes.
Got it. Okay.
So once you do that, now you can copy multiple classes. So I can copy this. It's already in my social studies class. So I'm going to add this to my period 2, which I'm pretending is this math class. And I'm going to add it to my period 3, which I'm pretending is this English class. And you're going to adjust the due date based on whatever you made it on the other. And then when you want it published. If you want it to not show up until a certain day and you click this publish, then you're only going to click copy to classes. If you want it to show up right away, you can click copy and publish. And then if you wanted to add it to the grade book, it's going to, every class you add it to is going to show up here and you have to choose the mark, just like we did when we were doing it in the grade books.
Right.
How you're going to go in through here. So I'm going to choose all these because I want it to go in these grade books. And I'm going to have it published automatically because I'm last minute. But if you're ahead of time and you want to publish on a certain day, just click copy to classes. When that date comes, it'll publish to that on those dates. So you can handle all your green days all at once and all your blue days all at once, or if you have the same thing for all your classes, depending. So I'm going to copy to classes and publish. And now it shows up in everybody's classes.
Okay.
You don't have to like create it multiple times. You're just creating it once.
How do you get to this screen that you're on right now?
It's right next to the assignments tab. It's called Assignment Bank.
Assignment Bank. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I think I got it. Thank you.
Yep. If not, I'm recording this, so you can go watch it again.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. You can do the same thing with assessments. If you've made an assessment, it's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna like, let me go in and find one. Let me find one. One of these in English is an assessment. Yes, this one. Okay. So this is, I made an assessment for the kids. This might be a form, Letitia, like what you did with your Google Forms. And the reason why and you can do Google Forms, you absolutely can. There's a drawback to using Google Forms in that the students have to finish it in order to have it go. Otherwise, if they don't finish it in one setting or whatever, it doesn't save their answers in Google Forms. The other is if you create a multiple choice or true, false, or whatever in here as an assessment, quote unquote assessment, it's going to go automatically in your grade book. Google Forms won't go automatically in your grade book. So my suggestion would be to do it this way. And I'll show you how to create an assessment. It's super easy. But pretend like this is an assessment that I created. You do the same thing. Add it to your assignment bank, and then you can give the same assessment or whatever, quick check or questions or whatever. Let me go into the one that I created. Let me see where it is. This is what happens when you're not organized. Just saying. This one. Okay, this is an assessment. Is it? No, it's not. Oopers. Okay, so this is one that I set up, and really it's similar. You could be doing the same thing in Nearpod. The benefits of doing it as an assessment, and don't think of assessment as test. So this just means if you have something that's automatically graded, it goes straight into your grade book when you're in the grading portal. So I added a, what do you call it? I'll figure out the name when I go to the next one. So they have to watch this video on environmental science, and then their question is, after watching this video, explain what you think environmental science is all about, and they'll record. Now, obviously, in this system, you're still going to have to go in and give them the credit before they can do it. So let me go back to who didn't do this assignment. I'll show you what it looks like from the kids' side. Susan Burns. So she sees the same thing on this side, and then she's going to record her answer here, and she's going to say all the things that she thinks environmental science is about. And then when she's done, she's going to save and exit, and then exit. And then when you go in on your side, I didn't want to save and exit. I wanted to submit. My bad. Finish. Yes. Close. Okay. Then when you go in on your side, here, let me refresh. You can see it's yellow, it's late, and there's one submission. So when you click on this, it opens it in the assignment grader. So, and however many questions you had. So then you can go through the students and you can play back her response. Here, and she's going to say all the things that And okay, she did well. She explained environmental science. I'm going to give it a 1. And it made it as 100. And it's automatically going to go into the grade book if you set it that way. So you're just going to go through this question, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or whatever you want. If you made it out of 100, 75, 85, 95, whatever, and it's going to go straight to your grade book. So you could do a Nearpod that's separate from this, which is built, but this to me is like your quick checks, your formative assessments. So maybe they do the Nearpod and then they come back and take a quiz. All right. So maybe if I'm in classroom and I go back to this assignment, I'm going to edit it. So maybe this was a Nearpod that they had to do. So there'd be a Nearpod link. And then once they're done the Nearpod link, they're going to do this assessment. So when you click, oh, crikey, let's make a new one. So you have the item bank of options, but that, I mean, that's already done questions for math and ELA, but they are LEAP-like. So if you go to add item and you just want to add an item, so we're going to add an item and it comes up here as an empty item and it has add new. They have this settings thing that allows you, if you're ELA, maybe you have a picture on the left and questions on the right. Go ahead, Kellia.
Really quickly, circling back to the assignments. So if I wanted to use like a Nearpod or a Flipgrid, would I just post the link as part of the assignment?
Yes.
Okay.
And just give them instructions at the top. So if you had a Nearpod and then wanted them to come back here and answer a question or do a quick 2-question or 5-question little what they call assessment in here where we were normally using Google Forms, you would tell them, number 1, click the Nearpod and complete it. You're going to get that data from Nearpod that they've watched the video with embedded questions or that they've done the assignment or seen your presentation or whatever. The assessment options, let me go back. It's the second tab. So the instructions are here for the main thing. So I have my instructions, view Nearpod. Number 2, take assessment. So when the kids show up, the assessment thing is going to show up at the top, but the Nearpod will be at the bottom. Now that may be a few kids you have to reset because they started taking the assessment before doing the Nearpod because they didn't read the directions. But if you kind of go over this with them on your synchronous time, you should circumvent a lot of that. But I'll show you how to reopen a test for a kid as soon as I'm done.
Okay. So what if I didn't want there to be an additional assessment in OnCourse? I just wanted them to go through the Nearpod.
Then you just put it in as the web link and that's it.
Okay.
Yes. So for both of your questions, Barbara, I think you had the same question. Great. You just put it in. If you already have your other stuff in Nearpod, you can do it that way. If you do an assessment, this was to kind of cover Letitia's option. So just like you would create a Google form, but there's more options here. So you have all these multiple choice options, matrix, you have fill in the blank. Yes, then you just manually enter the grade in OnCourse. I'll show you how to do that, Evelyn. So you have close with a bank where that's drag and drop, close with a drop down, which is bank, close with text where they type it in, label images, same thing. And then you can have classify, matching, written and recorded was what I used, an audio recorder. They have video recorder, short text, essay with plain text, and essay with rich text. You can give them text, Evelyn, and have them highlight the main idea or whatever. And then if you tell it what the main idea sentence is or the topic sentence, it'll be right or wrong for them. And then math is here. This is where your Desmos disappeared from, right? Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Interesting. Okay. So you have your math options, math formula, math with fractions, math fill in the blank, math with text. So they answer the math problem and then explain it in the text. Math with matrices, units, which would be mostly for science, and units 7th grade. Math essay with rich text, closed math with an image, and the math question generator. The math question generator allows you to make a question and it shuffles the numbers for the kids. So kid number 1 might get 6 times 10. Kid number 3 might get 4 times 18. So it's going to shuffle them around in a parameter that you set up. And then they have graphing here, which Desmos has gone from. This is really interesting to me. Okay, charts, chemistry, and then there's other ones here. You can have them upload a file. Now, obviously, they can upload a file anyway, but this might be if you want them to upload a video. Maybe they are watching a science experiment, they're uploading their own video. To me, I would use Flipgrid because it's easier to grade than in here, but it's totally up to you. Maybe you want them to upload a rating, and then here's the gridded like on Leap, where they click the little boxes to put the numbers in. Okay, so I'm just going to put in a bunch of multiple choice, and I'm going to choose these big block layouts just because it's easier. So you're going to put in your question here, and you have all of this. Where is my math? Right here. So you have this whole math equation builder that you can do and put in all the stuff that you needed to. Just like you would if you had the add-on for Equations on there. So let's make one. I don't know. See how well I am at math. So we're going to have X. Why is it going so tiny? Okay, let's not do that. Maybe math people should play with this. Where's my X? X. No, we'll do X squared. And then we'll do plus 5x plus how do you put a question mark in here? Plus blank? This is fun. You guys can play with this. I clearly cannot. So here's your questions going to be here. And then these are your options. Da-da-da. So, you know, maybe X is 37, maybe X is 42, maybe X is something, something. And then down the bottom, you just click what the right answer is. And you set how many points you want it to be. They also have this plus box if you want to get crazy and have alternate or multiple, multi-select and all that. I'm not doing that. Okay. But this plus sign comes up if you have more options, if you want to shuffle the questions. Stop doing that. You can do that without adding the alternative. So if you want multi-select, you'd click here and then gives you your multi-select option. You can shuffle the options so that if I'm sitting next to student A or at home and we're not all texting, then you can have it, the answers will move around, but it'll still mark it as correct or not. And then they have all this other stuff. If you wanted to do penalty points, I can't even get into this level of anything right now, but they do have this add distractors thing, and it lets you put in a distractor and contains math, which maybe eventually I'll get there in my life, but I'm not. So once you're done, you can preview to see what it looks like for the kids. You can edit it. You can have it show your answers, and then go back. Oh God, save. You have to save after every question. It won't let you. It'll tell you you're going to disappear. And then you just keep building. So I have another multiple choice. Questions. These are my answers. And this could be copied from an exam view or whatever, and then save assignment. And then these are the two questions, another question. And this may be a true false or a two option or something. So once the kids take this, it's going to automatically go into the grade book if you set it that way. You can have it automatically grade, and then from the grading area, let me get out of here. From the grading area, let me go into it. All right, so these are ones who had submitted. This was not set to auto grade because this is one that I had to go in and grade. But from here, if you set it to not auto grade here, the auto grade button will come here. You can actually type these in. And if you have it set to go to the grade book, it'll just go through. And notice it's changing them all to green as I'm going through them. And you can actually do this in the portal. Once they've all submitted, it'll have submissions by all of them. And you'll go into the submission and you'll be able to see it. And you're going to grade chunk by chunk by chunk if you needed to. But it lets you see what the student, even if it's multiple choice, it lets you see what the students chose. And then if you're doing it through the assessment, through an assessment, you're going to get reporting. So you're going to be able to view this assessment report. Now, obviously, I didn't link it to standards because I didn't pull it from the bank, but you can link it to standards, and you can actually see the item analysis and which students chose the right answers and didn't choose the right answers, so you knew how to address your teaching. So I just think the reporting gives more back than the Google Forms. And even if you had a Google Form, you can copy and paste the questions that you had on there. Yes, it does allow for multiple takes, but you have to give them the opportunity to do multiple takes. So like say this kid here, this is probably not a good example. Is this, you're going to go, I want to give this kid an option, to pretend like it was like a failure. I want to give this kid an option here. You're going to go to actions and you're going to go to assessment, and you can either reopen the assessment if they started taking it and couldn't get back in, or they submitted and didn't finish, or they clicked and they made a 0 and you want them to retake it, or you can have it delete results and restart it. If you choose delete results and restart, it does not save any of the kids' previous work. So you just need to make sure that you or the kid is writing down what it was before so we can see that there's improvement. Yes, Robin, if you embed a YouTube video, it has to be one approved for KDHSA. So just put in a ticket for the approval ahead of time. Yes, Cami is in there. I'll show you that too, because I found that assignment when I was doing the other one. And then you can block auto grading for selected students if you wanted. You can auto grade the assignments again. Maybe you pulled a Christy Amamy and you clicked the wrong answer. And so the kids are all like, hey, I got number 3 right, you know, but you have it as this is the right answer and I had it as B, and you realize you screwed up. So you're just going to go back in, adjust your assessment, and then click auto grade, and it'll send out the right grades straight to the grade book. Okay. Yes, let me show you what that looks like. So this is what it looks like when you have a PDF that's uploaded, Tammy, and it's got this Cami access here. Once the kid clicks on the assignment, it opens it up in Cami. I'm Susan Burns. Okay. And then they can add text boxes in here. They can draw on here. They can mark up by highlighting things that you have them highlight all of the, I don't know, whatever people do. I'll show you. You have an option to put every PDF in Cami. When you upload, it's going to ask you if you want it in Cami or if you want it as just a resource. So if you just want it as a PDF resource, then you'll have it, it'll look like this. I'm going to click close like she's done. This is just a, it's not a PDF, but this is a Word document that's just, I set just as a thing. So on the other side, when I'm in me and I go to, I think it was this one. On my end, this is what it looks like. So you have this little bitty triangle thingy here. Cami workflow means you want them to be able to annotate over the PDF. Resource means you just want them to be able to read the PDF or look at it. Same thing with Word documents. Cami workflow or resource only. Same thing with Google. Google Drive workflow means they get their own copy. Resource means they just get a snapshot of a view only. So this is what it looks like if it's a Google Drive view only. It's colored if it's workflow. If it's a PDF, PowerPoint, whatever that you want them to annotate, it'll be Cami. Otherwise, it'll just say doc, PDF, or whatever. Yes, I will make a video on how to do Cami for the kids. It doesn't take that long, Robin. Ian, you have a question? So from the teacher's aspect, let me go back in here. Let me go back on my kid. So notice it says that she's started the discipline flow work chart, but she's done. Now, granted, there's this whole other Google Doc, but she's done this part and is moving on. She can turn it in and let you start grading the Cami PDF while she's still working on this. So she's going to go in and she's going to turn it in. Notice here, as it reloads, it says that the discipline flowchart, which is the Cami PDF, has been turned in, And she still has this that she's going to do. So she's turned something into you so you can start grading. And then you're going to click, she's going to click this and she's going to start working on her Google Doc. She's going to start working on her Google Doc. That little error thing is coming up and I don't know why. We'll work on that. I think it's because I didn't set this to viewable by all discovery on purpose. So then she's going to go in, she's going to do her Google Doc. She's going to finish typing her Google Doc. All the while you're grading the PDF. Then she's going to come back here and turn it in again. If she made any updates to the discipline flowchart on Cami, it would show. So this is showing she only turned in the discipline flowchart and then she turned in these 2 documents again. She can go back and make edits on here as long as it's before the due time, but you've already started giving grades and feedback. So she's got the turn it in history, and I'm going to go into your side. Out of here. And that was Susan Burns. We have to refresh because she submitted. So now you can see 2 submissions. One of those submissions was created after a grade was already given to the student. So you had already graded the PDF, but then she made changes to it. So you're going to have to determine if you're going to allow it or let you know that you need to go look at it again. So once you open in the assignment here, it's going to let you toggle between both submissions. Okay, so what's going to show up now is Cami. You can do the same thing. You could use text to speech and give her feedback. This is great. I think you've highlighted all the right things. You could choose a different color and start marking this up. I said choose a different color and start marking this up. You can also add additional text in a different color. You can comment. So I can go on top of this here and I'm commenting that this is what she put. Oh my God, please. Comment. I did click on the page to make a comment, friend. You can make a voice comment, a video comment. You could just do a text comment. So we're going to make a voice comment and I'm going to click anywhere on the page. And now I'm making a voice comment. I'm basically going on top and explaining to her what she did or didn't do wrong. It's in here. So the kids can then view it and then they can reply to it. My video, my word comment or text comments. You can do the same thing if you just want to text comments. I'm going to click here and I'm going to text the comment. This is great. Notice this little microphone comes up here. If you wanted to change this to voice typing, you could click this and you can voice type anything that you want into text and this will go straight to the kid and they get to see the feedback, which I like for essays because this would be like a game changer for me if I was doing essays. You have the options to print this with the annotations or download it if you needed to for any purposes of keeping track for grading. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at her second assignment. You can grade it here in the portal. Here. It doesn't allow you to do anything. Or you can open the Google Drive document and give your feedback just like we did with Google Classroom before. So now I can highlight this, I can add comments in here, I can type what she needs to do, and she'll be able to see it all. And it's better than it was with Google Classroom because both of you own the document. It's not like they can't see it until it's returned, and then they have to return it to you to see the changes. It's all, everybody can see everything, which is a really good feature. So I really like using Cami. I've been using Cami for a long time, and having Cami as the option in here is really great. And then you can see here, this is her second submission of discipline flowchart, and that's what I marked up, okay? It's coming. You can see all of my feedback here. If I go into the first one, that was what she originally put in here. And notice, you see her original submission. So if you had done this one first, and given feedback, and then she had went and changed stuff, you'd be able to see the difference. It's giving you a PDF snapshot of what it is. So this is the first one she turned in. I had already started grading it. And then she went back and she submitted a second one and made some changes. So then you can give further feedback if you needed to, or say, oh, she made the changes. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna adjust this grade to be an 85. And then I'm gonna right click in the box and take it. If you right click in the box, you can address it to missing, late, incomplete. And that'll automatically post in the gradebook as well as OnCourse Connect for the students and parents to see. But I'm going to go ahead and clear this color because she submitted this assignment. All right, I know that was a really quick thing. Questions? Anybody have anything? I have on my notes to look at the copy calendar, to look at the notifications for the students if they can choose to have it in email, the issues with the calendar, times, and Cami video for the kids. Anything else I'm missing? I am not having that issue.
Okay, it happened to me and it happened to Julie Arbo also when we uploaded a video and then it would play back for the kids only as black with only the audio in the background.
Are you uploading to the earpod?
No, it was like I just uploaded it straight to OnCourse and it wouldn't play.
My suggestion to you, and this is what I told her, is when you're in Screencastify, where it has that option. I know it's putting in Google Drive, but if you send it to YouTube, it's going to give you a link. So create yourself a YouTube channel, make it as unlisted, and then the kids can't search for it, but it's in your thing. That way, it's easier to put it in Nearpod. It's going to put the link in Nearpod. So if you have a longer video, it's not taking up your Nearpod storage space. Yes.
And will that be automatically viewable then because it's on my channel?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Is this possible?
Christy, I'm sorry. When you said when we put it on YouTube, we have to make it what?
I do unlisted. You can make it public if you want, but it just means if they go to your channel, they can see all your assignments. If you're not ready for that, you may not want it. So
unlisted.
It's unlisted. They have public, private, and unlisted. Private means nobody can see it, and if you don't change it before the kids get it, they'll never have it. Unlisted means if they have the link, which they're clicking in Nearpod or in here, that they'll be able to view it.
Okay.
But they just can't go search for it.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. So Elizabeth, yours is going to be different. You're probably going to have assignments for each individual kid. I really probably need to have time with you and Lauren to kind of go over how we can make that look for the teachers and parents. I'll write that down. I'll loop in the high school and middle too. Okay. And then Evelyn, I can show you, if everybody else needs to go, I'm just going to show her how to create a YouTube channel. If you want to stay and learn, you can watch. I think I actually made a video about this, to be honest with you. Bye, y'all. Okay, you're just going to go to YouTube, and it's going to, mine is already there, but it's going to walk you through the steps. It literally takes like 2 seconds. I think I have a video on this because I made it for Patty. But you're just going to go at the top where your little person-y is in YouTube. And instead of your channel, it's going to say create channel. And then it's going to ask you a couple of questions. And you're just going to, I think it lets you choose your channel type. And it's just make sure you choose education. But it may not even do that anymore. It's been such a long time since I've done it. But instead of your channel here, it says create channel. And then once you're in Screencastify, let me find a video in Screencastify. And you can do this with ones you've already uploaded. So you're just going to go to your recordings. Don't judge the amount of recordings I have.
Christy, it doesn't give the option anymore for education channel. We actually went through that. We're trying to figure out how to make an education channel and never gave us the option. So thank you for letting us know that because I thought we were going crazy.
No, I don't know what happened in the, like literally I made Patty a channel in June and it was there. I posted a big old long thing to everybody and then everybody was like, well, I don't see education. And not until Daniel, I'm like, I can't even see what the videos are. So now we have to go back to everybody submitting them to us. So yes, and when you create your channel, I'm gonna show you, Evelyn, how to send that to me and Daniel so we can whitelist it. So you just choose a video. So let's say I wanna choose a video. Here, look, I have one. How to create a YouTube channel. Ha! Who knew? over here, you're going to have, they have a shareable link. And then you have this publish to YouTube. So you're just going to click publish to YouTube. And then if you've already signed in like I have, it'll automatically be linked. But otherwise, it'll have a plus sign that says add, sign in with YouTube or something. And then these are your options, private, public, or unlisted. I always choose unlisted. It lets you choose a title. You have to put a description in. So sometimes if I don't have a description, I just copy and paste the title in here. And I think I already have this, so I'm not going to post that again. And then you just put the description in. Once you click upload, well, let me find one that I don't have in there, because that would be helpful if I actually showed you how this was. Don't delete. What do I want? Let's do this one. I don't even know what this is. Heart of words. Great. Publish to YouTube. Notice how it said add a YouTube channel. Oh, of course. This one cannot possibly be in YouTube. Okay. So then publish to YouTube. And then I want this to be unlisted. I'm going to give it a description and I'm going to click upload. So it's going to upload it. It's actually faster to do it from Screencastify than it is to do it in YouTube, oddly enough. You could download and upload if you wanted. Then you just click view on YouTube. It does take a bit because it's going to show up. Now this is a short, it's like literally a 30-second video. See how it says we're processing? Don't send out the link if it's still processing, because you're going to get 500 emails from people that says it's still processing. But you just copy this link at the top here and post it wherever you need it. And then when you make your channel and you click on your little icon over here and you click your channel, and it brings you to your channel here, you're just going to click the link at the top, copy it, and put that into Ticket to Me and Daniel, and we'll whitelist it for you. So anything you post on your channel will be good to go. Now let me find that video and send it to you.
Hey, Christy.
Yup.
If we can only post our own videos, correct? We can't find a video that we like and post it in our thing.
Well, technically it's illegal, but you could.
Never mind. I don't want to be illegal.
You could Screencastify over an existing video that wasn't unlinked, but then you worry about YouTube shutting you down because you're copying.
No, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, it's been done. I've seen it, but.
Nope.
But what if there's,
go to jail?
What if there's a legitimate video that I want to show my students on YouTube? Can I just share that link with them?
Yes, but you best bet, especially for your stuff, Randy, is to send that in a ticket a couple days before you need it, and Daniel and I'll make sure it's unblocked.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. I can tell you, Daniel doesn't get here until 8:30 in the morning. So if you send me something at 6:30 in the morning, it generally will probably not be unblocked that day. So if you can get it to us the day before, usually one of us can do it. The thing is, we have to be at school to unblock it because I have to be able to log into the server. So.
Thanks.
Welcome. Okay. If nobody has anything else. Robin, it depends on what the novel is. We usually can get educational permission for the novels. So my best bet for you, Robin, is just to go ahead and do it like you would. And then if you get into a situation like that, generally what happens is I backtrack and I pull I didn't know we're in a worldwide pandemic. And then you just have to contact, which I did for teachers last year. It's mostly high school books. You really don't have the problem with it in elementary and middle. But I usually just contact either the writer or the publisher to get educational access. And then you just have to put you just copy and paste verbiage into your YouTube video that you have permission. All right, guys, I will put this recording up, and remember to go to the Discovery Bookmarks and the EdTech resources page, because that's where all the other videos are. So like I said, I make videos. I try and keep up with putting them on there. I probably make 15 videos a day. So if there's anything you don't have, I probably have a video for it. If not, I can make one. It doesn't take that long. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you want to join in for the Nearpod, I'll be back at 1 doing some Nearpod with y'all. All right, guys.